Hello citizens, how is it going and welcome back. This is our match reaction to Man City 5, FC Copenhagen 0. So make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe if you're new, and let's jump into it. So as far as the match goes, it's pretty much what I expected. I said during the match preview that, some players need to be rotated out, some need to come in. So I thought it was a good chance to rest a few and also give minutes to others. And Pep pretty much did that, although I was surprised to see Haaland start. I think probably he wanted to win the game nice and early, win the game by half-time, which is what happened. Haaland turned up, Haaland scores, Haaland wins us the game. Game over at half-time, just like that. But away from Haaland, who was a machine and just keeps scoring, and would have had a hat-trick if Pep hadn't taken him off, or if the defender hadn't put the ball in the net, because Haaland was waiting to pounce. But away from Haaland, looking at the players that came in, so we start with Gomez on the left, Cancelo on the right, Diaz in the middle along with Laporte. And three of those players, Laporte, Diaz, Gomez, all needed minutes in their legs, all needed more time. And to be honest, they were pretty good. I was really impressed by Diaz and Laporte when they came in. Laporte, obviously, he came back against United in the derby game. And seeing them two together, seeing that partnership, it was really nice. And it was really good because they really dominated everything. They were winning all the headers. They were winning all their tackles, and they gave Copenhagen absolutely nothing. They gave nothing away. The passing was sharp. They drove forward over the halfway line with the ball when needed. They were dominant, them two. They were really, really good. And it was just good to see that partnership back again, isn't it? Because we've got some really strong centre-halves at the moment. Akanji and Ake playing phenomenal. Stones was playing really good before he got injured again. So yeah, our centre-half partnerships, they all look like they're working, and I was really impressed with them two today, especially with their first 4 games back and first time playing together this season. So good for them. Gomez on the left hand side, defensively I think he can be a little bit suspect, and he had a moment in this game where he's let the ball bounce in the penalty box when he's expecting Edison to come through or Edison to shout or something, but he got away with that one. But going forward, what a player he is. He's got some technique with that left foot. He reminds me of Zinchenko, but he might be better with his left foot. The amount of crosses that came into him and he's just hitting them on the volley. And in fact, we got 2 goals from him doing that. Haaland got 1, and obviously the own goal came from one of his volleys as well. And in the second half, in injury time, Mahrez plays the corner to the edge of the box. He volleys it beautifully, straight down the keeper's throat, unfortunately, but it's such good technique. Hit it so cleanly. So going forward, he looks really, really good in. And a couple of his crosses into the box are pretty decent as well. He's always making the run. He gets to the byline, he cuts it back. He's basically the left-hand side of Cancelo, who's on the right. Them two really complemented the centre-halves. Going into midfield, Gundogan played the CDM role again. It's hard to say if you're not against United if you had a good game because they were so poor. But in this one, I thought he was brilliant, Gundogan. He swept up everything really well. He won every 50-50. He was winning his headers as well. And, he was tracking back. He was going forward. He was at the heart of everything, Gundogan, today. He was really, really good. I was really impressed by him. And he did a phenomenal job. And again, he gave Copenhagen absolutely nothing in that midfield. And if you look at that back three, you look at Gundogan, Diaz, Laporte, they really dominated the game. By dominate, I mean they sat on the halfway line, right in the middle of the pitch, just passing the ball between themselves and spraying out wide to Mahrez or Grealish. They were really, really good. And Copenhagen had no answer to them. They really didn't. They passed them to death, and you could see how tired the Copenhagen front three were by the end of the game. Ahead of them, Bernardo played, and Bernardo does what he does, doesn't he? He gets up and down the pitch. He's a bit quiet. I thought in the second half, a few of the balls went loose when they were at his feet, but other than that, he did nothing wrong. And another fine performance from him, and you know exactly what you get from him. You get work rate, you get effort, and you always get 100% commitment, and we saw that today. And alongside him, Pep played Alvarez. He played in kind of the De Bruyne role. He played behind Haaland. In the first half, he didn't really get any chances. The ball wasn't... Well, when the ball was coming to him, he was trying to look for Haaland, or he was giving it off to someone else. He got his goal in the second half. I thought he was really good. He took the goal well too. I mean, he was 3 yards out and it was an empty net, but he still got in that position. He still made the run. And Mahrez's beautiful ball after good work from Grealish, across the box, in that position, open net, and he got his goal, and he was unlucky not to get a second. I thought he did really well to get a shot away with his left foot first time, hit outside of the post after, again, good work from Grealish. But Alvarez, Great standard performance from him, you know, nothing special, but nothing bad either. You know, again, work rate, he's always closing down, he's always got energy, he's running till the end of the game, he's given 100% the full 90 minutes, and he deservedly got a goal today. Now, front three, Mahrez. I'm glad Mahrez played because, again, he needed minutes, and Pep doesn't seem to be trusting him in the Premier League at the moment. Pep said himself that Mahrez needs to do more to get into this team, and today, I don't think he did it. I don't think he did more. I don't think he had a bad game, but you compare him to Grealish, who played on the left, and I know Grealish has more minutes than him, and Grealish had a longer run in the team, but Grealish, every time he picked up the ball today, was running it at the fullback. He was always running the ball. He was always carrying it forward. He was looking for the 1-2s on the edge of the box. Every time he got the ball, every time Mahrez gets the ball, his instinct is to go backward. His instinct is to turn, pass it back to Diaz, pass it back to Laporte. And I just think Mahrez needs to go forward with it a bit more, show a bit more confidence. Shows that Mahrez from a couple of seasons ago and just attack that fullback and just get into the box, you know. If you fail a couple of times, just keep going. Eventually, one is going to work for you. He did really well for the Alvarez goal. You know, he took the ball with his left foot really nicely, got past the defender, puts it across the box first time. But other than that, I think he does need to do more. And obviously, we start with Haaland up front, who's an absolute joke and a beast. And the thing about Haaland, there's a couple of things I really like about him. Yeah, he scores good goals and he hits the ball so clean. The first goal, right foot, beautiful. Second, left foot, he was in the right place. But that's just it. His positioning is phenomenal. His awareness of where to be when the ball's in certain areas. Like when Gomez hit that shot from when he scored his second, Haaland was like 5 yards away from when he actually touched the ball. You know, but he gets beyond the defense because he's waiting for the keeper to make a mistake. He's waiting for the deflection to go to him. He doesn't just sit back and wait for the ball. He reacts to it ahead of time. And I love that. He's got some great foresight and great positioning. So Haaland, honestly, is a beast. And again, if you don't go to the games, you might not notice because it might not show on TV. I don't know what they show at the end of the games. But at the end of every home game, Haaland, he does like a lap of honour for the crowd. He goes around clapping them all. You know, usually with the match ball at his feet, kicking it around. But he goes around and he claps every stand. And today, at the end of the game, even though he's on the bench, even though he's showered and changed and he's ready to go home, as soon as that final whistle went, he ran onto the pitch. He's shaking everyone's hand. He's pumping everyone up. You know, he's celebrating with the City players. He's shaking hands with the referee and the linesman and the Copenhagen players. And then immediately, he's in the middle of the pitch clapping the fans again. And that's the kind of player he is. You know, and that's the kind of person he is. And that's the kind of person you want around your team. And the attitude can only be infectious around the other players. And it's phenomenal to see. Honestly, he's just really quick to, you know, yeah, he's confident and he's arrogant, and which is what you want. But he also comes across as very humble and he knows why he's there and he's just lapping the moment, and he, you know, he likes to celebrate with others. He likes to celebrate with the fans, and I really appreciate that. But today, my man of the match, honestly, actually, before we get into it, another thing I want to mention by Pep today is that instead of making 4 or 5 subs at once like he did against United and just concede goals at the end, which is really frustrating because that game was much better than 6-3. He did his substitutions one by one, and if you look at it, you know, he brought on Lewis at right back, he brought on Wilson-Esbrand at left back, and, you know, he brought Palmer on. But if you look at that team, how young that team was, he's given 2 youngsters their first Champions League games. Phenomenal. And we're seeing more from the academy, you know, and why not? Because you look at Foden, you look at Palmer, wonderful players going forward. You know, now we're seeing a couple of defenders coming in as well, and Pep trusting them, Pep giving them the time, even in the Champions League. You know, and it's really good to see that our academy is being used and that Pep's willing to go to the academy. And other areas of the pitch, Gomez, Haaland, Alvarez, even though we signed them, we brought them in. They're all young players. This team has got some talent in it, and it can keep going for years. And again, Pep and the club deserve so much credit for that. But yeah, my man of the match today, Grealish. I thought Grealish was absolutely phenomenal. I really do. I thought he was incredible. He carried on his good work from the Wolves game, and he carried on his good work from the United game as well. Yeah, the second half dropped, but I mean, everyone did. But today, for the whole 90 minutes, like I said, whenever he picked that ball up, no matter where he was on the pitch, whether he was in the Copenhagen half, the City half, he just wanted to run with the ball. He wanted to carry the ball. You know, he was winning free kicks. He was playing so many 1-2s on the edge of their box. He was trying to, he fed in through a few passes that resulted in assists for someone else. You know, he had a couple of shots that could have done better with, and he was unlucky not to score. He was incredible today, Grealish. I really think he is. All the headlines going to be on Haaland and how good Haaland is and the goals that he scored. Obviously, they're going to be the the headlines and the highlights stuff. But Grealish today, for me, 10 out of 10. He was incredible all game, and if he keeps that up, he's going to be number one on the. Well, he's not going to be number one on the team sheet, but he's going to be one of the first ones on the team sheet every time, and he's going to keep Mahrez out the team because with him and Foden in the form they are, why would you play anyone else on the weekend against Southampton? You wouldn't. Grealish, absolutely amazing today, 10 out of 10. And the whole team was, to be honest, these 5-0 results and 6-0 results in the Champions League are becoming a bit of a habit. They're becoming routine, becoming expected from us. We smashed so many teams in these group stages in the Champions League. So, yeah, and it's nothing more than I expected. And we go on again against Southampton. So thanks for watching. Thanks for checking my match reaction out. Make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe. If you're new, please do hit subscribe. Please hit subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. And yeah, see you for the next one for the match preview against Southampton. Bye-bye.